What if the love of your life isn't the person you end up with? Not because you stopped loving them, not because they did something wrong, but simply because life happened. That's the question past lives leaves us with. And somehow, without dramatic breakups, betrayals, or grand romantic gestures, it manages to say something about love that most romance movies never do. Because at its core, past lives isn't about finding the one. It's about learning that sometimes love and timing are two completely different things. Early in the film, we're introduced to a Korean concept called inyon. The idea is that people cross paths because of connections built over many lifetimes. Even brushing shoulders with a stranger on the street might be the result of thousands of accumulated connections from previous lives. And if that's true, then what does it mean when someone enters your life and changes it forever? The movie doesn't present Inyan as a scientific fact. It presents it as something much more important, a way of understanding why certain people feel impossible to forget, why years can pass and yet some connections never fully disappear. Most love stories teach us that if two people truly love each other, they'll end up together. Past Lives quietly changes the idea. Nora and Haesung care deeply about each other. The connection is real, the feelings are real, and yet that doesn't mean they're meant to be together. Because love isn't the only thing that shapes our lives. There are choices, distance, timing, growth, the people we become. Sometimes two people can be perfect for each other in one version of life and strangers in another. That's what makes this movie so heartbreaking. But that life kept moving and they had to move with it. I think the most beautiful thing Past Lives teaches us is that not every meaningful relationship is supposed to become a forever relationship. Some people enter your life to stay, others enter your life to change you, and sometimes that's enough. We spend so much time asking, what if? What if I said something different? What if I stayed? What if I left? What if we met at a different time? But the movie never tries to answer those questions. Instead, it asks us to accept something much harder. That a connection can be meaningful even if it doesn't last. That someone can be important even if they aren't your future. And that love doesn't become less real simply because it ends. By the end of Past Lives, you're left with a feeling that's difficult to describe. It's sad, but it's also strangely peaceful because the movie understands something many of us spend years learning. Not every love story is meant to be completed. Some are meant to be remembered, some are meant to teach us who we are, and some are simply meant to remind us that for a brief moment in this life, or maybe another one, our paths crossed. And maybe that's what Inyan really means. Not that every connection is destined, but that every connection matters. And that's what Past Lives teaches us about love.